The Silk Road, a name that evokes mystery, adventure, and the rise and fall of empires. But the truth is even more fascinating. It wasn't a single road, nor was it only about silk. It was a vast, interconnected web of land and sea routes that linked civilizations from the heart of China to the shores of the Mediterranean. This is the story of how one trade network shaped the world. Long before the term Silk Road was coined in the 19th century, ancient travelers were blazing trails across mountains, deserts, and oceans. These routes didn't emerge overnight. They were forged over centuries through necessity, ambition, and exploration. It all begins in the Han Dynasty of China, around the 2nd century BCE. Emperor Wu of Han had a vision. He wanted to establish alliances and open up trade with the western regions. He sent a diplomat, Zhang Qian, on a perilous journey westward. Zhang's mission would ultimately open China to the wider world and ignite one of the greatest economic engines in history. From the capital city of Chang'an, traders would set out with goods like silk, porcelain, paper, and tea. These goods were highly coveted in the West. In exchange, they received gold, silver, glassware, and precious stones. But more than goods, what traveled the Silk Road were ideas, religions, technologies, philosophies. The Silk Road wasn't just one route. It split into northern and southern land corridors, cutting through the Taklamakan Desert, winding over the Pamir Mountains, and skirting the Iranian Plateau. Caravans of camels, laden with goods, crossed some of the most dangerous terrain on Earth. Along the way, bustling oasis cities like Samarkand, Kashgar, Merv, and Bukhara flourished. These cities became melting pots of culture. Here, a Persian merchant could speak with a Chinese trader, while a Buddhist monk from India shared stories with an Arab astronomer. Religion was a major passenger on the Silk Road. Buddhism spread from India into Central Asia, China, Korea, and Japan. Monasteries sprang up along the route, offering shelter and food for weary travelers. Nestorian Christianity, Zoroastrianism, Islam, and even Greek philosophy found their way into distant corners of the world thanks to this network. But trade was not without its risks. Bandits, harsh climates, and treacherous terrain made every journey a gamble. And yet, the rewards were immense. Not just wealth, but knowledge. In the Islamic Golden Age, the Silk Road played a vital role in preserving and sharing the knowledge of the ancient world. Greek and Roman texts were translated into Arabic, studied, and improved upon. Mathematics, astronomy, medicine, and chemistry all flourished thanks to the flow of information. Then came a different kind of traveler: disease. The Black Death, the bubonic plague, is believed to have spread from Central Asia to Europe along the Silk Road in the 14th century. It killed tens of millions, reshaping societies and economies. But the Silk Road endured. In the 13th century, under the vast Mongol Empire, the route reached new heights. Genghis Khan's descendants unified much of Asia, creating a rare period of peace and safety across the continent, what we call the Pax Mongolica. Trade flourished. Marco Polo, the Venetian explorer, traveled the Silk Road and returned to Europe with tales that would inspire generations. And yet, by the 15th and 16th centuries, the dominance of the Silk Road began to wane. Sea routes, opened up by European explorers like Vasco da Gama and Columbus, provided faster, cheaper alternatives to overland travel. Political fragmentation, war, and the decline of the Mongol Empire all contributed to the road's decline. But the legacy of the Silk Road is anything but forgotten. It shaped cultures, created cities, transmitted religion and science, and changed the trajectory of human history. The music we hear, the food we eat, the beliefs we share, they all carry echoes of this ancient web of connection. Even today, In a world of satellites and instant communication, the spirit of the Silk Road lives on. Through diplomacy, cultural exchange, and global trade, we continue to walk the paths laid down by those brave merchants, monks, and messengers of the past. The Silk Road was never just a road. It was a bridge between worlds,